Well, yes, I've gone out on a limb. People tell me that the sound quality is unbelievably bad, uh, and it's a shame to have bought three tablets. One is completely dead, the other two barely function. But that's what's happened. You'll remember the ice pick ruined my favorite smartphone, the 51, what do they call it? A51, or I've forgotten. What do they call it? Anyway, several years old. And just a nice telephone. Nice operating system, whole thing. But it was sabotaged. I finally got around to replacing it. It was a hellacious effort. And it's more or less a simpler, basic phone. That's okay. And the tablets, I didn't spend much. I spent about $60 a piece, and I can barely use them. Basically, I can use them for watching and listening to something, and not try to do anything else. But I just thought I'd mention, yes, there's something I can say. It is true that I said the other day, but not on record, that since my core family, the dad, mom, three kids, we lived on Salisbury Road. And it was at that time that my mother purchased a little Siamese kitten. And that kitten lasted past 20 years. I don't know how many years. Very old cat. And when she got to Brookwood, which, followed not too long at Salisbury, um, she would kill mice, rats, and squirrels and such, and put them at the door. In other words, if you went out into the backyard, you had better look at the door sill to see whether you were going to step on something very dead, because, that was her instinct to kill and bring dead things and put them there at the door. Now, yes, it's gross, but I'll say it anyway. Here, they have pets, and they work in the kitchen, and I won't elaborate on the outrageous things they do visually and in terms of the taste or whatever. They don't worry about the nutrition. They're concerned with the visual and the taste of things. And it's placed on a plate or a bowl or whatever and brought into my room on occasion. And I feel like, whatever became of Baby Jane, and you remember the twist at the end of the movie, twisted things around. But anyway, they bring stuff in, and it's unbelievable to think that any rational person would serve that to me unlit. There is that same fundamental that I discovered in Beverly's assembled understanding that I am somehow not supposed to get anything else. And as I was trying to find out, I should answer to Beverly's demand on one thing or another. Never happened quite so explicitly as one time too many the other day. I had not thought her hard line was no better than the flighty and berserk fundamental that animates Tanya, and the surly, thuggish conviction that maintains Cleveland, and no telling what, myriad impressions. These people are set. There is simply no one here at all who is any better off, as far as I know. But yeah, in terms of the persistence of a particular trouble, the stuff out of the kitchen, they obviously can do as they please. That's basically if they can do as they please. And it reminds me, of having to look before you step outside the door. And if you're not ready to deal with it right away, then you have to just kind of kick something aside. There could be three or four dead things in the backyard at Brookwood. Um, and also Salisbury, but that was at Salisbury. It was the front door. Well, here it's as if they present something like that on a plate, and it's some of it is just amazingly bad. Obviously, if anything has to do with impunity, it's that way. Um, I didn't think about it until just the other day when somebody was talking about, you know, how people have figured out what animals do in the wild, even if they're not entirely wild. So, of course, I think I might have mentioned one time I opened a can of Campbell's spaghetti, and that's not what I found inside the can. I have never had anything like that happen to me, ever, anywhere. But it wasn't fair. I didn't think that, and of course, there was probabilities, pretty well. If there's several things that led up to that. Uh, so, with that in mind, I nevertheless have pressed on, and I can acknowledge that I'm going to try to get better acoustic and other arrangements. But what I can do about the food situation, I don't know. I'm going to try for that too. It can't be much. Now here it is, what, 20 minutes till 4 on the 22nd of March. Um, the sun hasn't gone down, but the days are getting longer. Uh, March 2026.